Hey there, garden fans. Welcome back to the Permaculture Homestead. I wanted to start this update by talking about my native passion flower that I got growing. The passion flower is a host plant for a few butterflies, and this is one of them. This is the caterpillar of the Gulf fritillary. It's the only caterpillar that can feed on the leaves of the passion flower. So I'm going to let this little guy grow, and as I pull back, I want to show you how well these passion fruit, are growing. In just a matter of a couple weeks, I've really managed to help them along here. All I've done is trellis them up. Expecting to see quite a bit of passion fruit this year. And honestly, these guys are just growing wild all over the place. And they're really getting ready to start flowering. Got another trellis over here with one on of them. I've been staking up others. Here's one I've staked up. See its flower head right there, about ready to blow out. So I've been really impressed with the native wild edibles growing here in my backyard. These guys grow in subtropical regions. The one right here in my swale seems to really enjoy the extra moisture and humus provided in this swale. But while I'm out here, I wanted to give you all a quick, garden update and maybe talk about some of my successes and failures at this point along. I've been at this property an entire year now, and I've done a lot for a year, and there's been some success and there's been some failure, so I want to talk about that. First off, top of the property here, this swale that I've dug is doing great, man. I didn't plant anything here but the buckwheat. I threw out a bunch of buckwheat, and I got all types of native volunteers. Of course, the passion flower, but I've got a native wheat growing, which I'll end up feeding to my chickens. There's all types of sunflowers growing here. So this swale is really holding moisture fairly well. I don't water, I don't really do anything. The plum trees here at the top of the property are surviving really well. The guilds that I've got on these trees especially, and just about some of the other fruit trees, I think a failure number one is, not so much even a failure, but I could do more. I just, a couple sprigs of oregano around the base of the plant is just not enough. I need like a field of oregano here. So, while my guilds are functional and working, I just need to multiply it by 10. Just a little patch of oregano is not going to do it. I feel like I need a whole carpet of oregano around the base of my trees to really help prevent pests and to really help them flourish. Big success on the homestead has been the bees. Has been all the animal husbandry, the chickens, the rabbits. These guys are real active and bringing in tons of pollen. Another big success I want to talk about is starting to incorporate the native edibles. Fig I planted not too long ago is really looking good and putting on a lot of good new growth. It's healthy. The guild that I've got here has got comfrey and a little bit of thyme with it. And all these plants here have really established themselves. Once again, I feel like I need to plant more thyme. More plants around the base of my plants here, around the fig, just to really help break up the soil and add organic matter. I got a couple blueberry bushes here that they could use some, not help, but a little more friends. I've chopped back all the ground cover I have, and that's, it's been a big help. Cover cropping has helped build a nice layer of soil that is holding moisture and beginning to break up the real sandy stuff. The acid guild is doing great over here. I don't know what more I could do to help this guild out, but it seems to be doing well. I've got blueberries coming on my rabbit eye. The high bush is putting on, the low bush is putting on. The hydrangeas are telling me that the soil is acid enough. Got some blue flowers. So if those were pink flowers, I would know that the soil is a little too neutral. So Planting hydrangeas with your blueberries is a pretty good indicator of soil acidity. And I'm glad I've done that because it's really helped let me know how well the soil acidification is. Successes. Success has been this apple polyculture. I bought this apple tree with scab, and it's actually really bounced back from that little bit of scab last year. It looks very healthy. It's green, lush green foliage, zero pest problems. I think having that grapevine climb up it and around it is really just kind of disguising the fact that it's even there. I think the pests are having a problem finding that apple tree, so that's been a success. The yarrow around the base of the tree and the garlic is doing great. The bee balm is doing good. The chives are doing good. But just like with the plum trees, I feel like I need to do more. I feel like I need more yarrow. I would love a field of yarrow here around the base of my tree. The tansy is growing great, but it's a weed, so I should have no problem with it. Once again, I got a small patch of oregano here, but that's just, in my opinion, it's just not enough. I need more. I need to multiply my guilds by like 10. That is one, not so much a failure, but something I'd like to work on. I've recently seeded this area here with some green beans and spaghetti squash. So out with the kale, the fall crop, and in with the summer crop. My shade garden over here seems to be doing fairly well. The borage is coming in, chamomile is flowering. I have tons of borage and chamomile tea, and I eat the borage leaves, I eat the borage flowers. The bees seem to really enjoy it. Right behind it, I've got goji berries that are really starting to put on some growth. They look good, they're strong, they've gotten established and adding growth, so I expect the goji berry to be a pretty good producer, and I've got 5 of them planted. That's 3. Here's a 4th one, and I've added a 5th one over here. So all the goji berry has gotten established and growing. I'm happy with that. I've planted them up with plants of the similar family, including tomato. So I got some tomato here that's starting to work up and wake up. I've added basil as a companion plant, which is also starting to wake up. I've got some seedlings here, chia. I'm growing chia. So I've got a lot of chia seedlings coming up here. I've never grown chia before, we'll see how it goes. All in all though, the shade garden has been a somewhat success. I've chopped down all the clover. I've left it there as like a ground cover, and it'll die back and provide some natural humus.